So for me, I was born in St. Paul, brought home in Shoreview, and then moved back to West St. Paul. I don't remember those first two houses, but I can show you the apartment that I grew up in, which looks different, but I believe it was this one. No, it's this next one building. It's going to be up on the top floor, right on the outer side here.
You turn in right here?
I mean, if you want to, but that's right there is our old balcony, is that top one.
And where are we, in Little Canada?
Yes, we're in Little Canada. And then like you can see, like there's the bedrooms. My bedroom was the one with the AC, and you had to walk through this huge walk-in closet to get to it. And I loved it. And then I would go to the park with my dad, which was just down through here, through the baseball fields, and there's a nice big park there.
And you lived here, what, like 92?
Didn't I go to kindergarten in 94?
You're born in 87.
87.
So that means you're in kindergarten in 92.
Oh, well then maybe I lived in the Badness house longer. I don't know. The swimming pool was right there. There's like the main office. You're right across the street from the swimming pool. I was a block away from my elementary school. My best friend, who happened to be Jewish, she lived down on the other end of the road in the last apartment building. But if you go that way, you can go to my school.
So this is your kindergarten school?
Yes, I went here through kindergarten. And it's funny, my kindergarten teacher lived on the same street as my grandma. So even when my family moved and I switched schools, I still got to see my kindergarten teacher all the time. And it was so funny because her husband sat in the same spot on the couch in their front window. Like, just kind of like you.
You're cute. You're cute. You're using your Wells Fargo points for this. What, buddy? That was Mama's school.
Oh, you know what? I wonder if you saw the church behind it. Granny's
Yeah, it
church.
was Jesus.
So from Little Canada, my family got approved for a little house right here where that red truck is. It's 137 Mayfair.
That's over there. Look at,
Yeah.
buddy. That's where Mama lived.
My dad built that deck. God. Probably my old neighbors are like, what? That's where I grew up. There used to be a big, huge lilac bush in the front yard.
Do you remember what year that was?
Like the last month of kindergarten up until my parents divorced, which was 2006. So what, 95 to 2006?
Wow. So this whole neighborhood used to walk around Jill.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's pretty janky, but I mean, it was home and I loved it and I was happy here. So, are you ready for this? This big road right here, this hill road. I didn't know how to brake. Stop for a second. This tree right here, I came down the road and I went straight into the tree.
Sunrise Park Middle School. This is where you went to
6th, 7th, and 8th
while you were living.
in Badlands.
Gotcha.
But this is in White Bear, so you used to make me sandwiches.
That trailer park? You went here? That seems really far away.
No, you gotta remember, Badness Heights is a small town, so either it's Shoreview or White Bear is where the kids would go, and at the time, majority went to White Bear.
Gotcha.
So this house straight ahead is the one I moved in with my grandma when my parents got divorced. We all lived here. There's quite a few, many bedrooms.
So this is where you moved after the house in Badness we just saw.
Yep.
So who lives here now?
No, they sold it. But it was, I mean, it's bigger than it looks. So like there's the kitchen, there's like an office space, and then there's like the main bedroom, which is grandma's, 4-season porch, and then there's like a bedroom upstairs.
And then from here you moved to?
White Bear with Dave. So this house right here is a duplex, and the bottom half in the basement was my ex's dad's. That's where he grew up, and we rented the upstairs. So like when you go through that door, there's that little window on the right. That's the stairs going upstairs. The two windows in the front are the living room, and then there was 2 bedrooms and the bathroom and kitchen.
And this is where you moved after you lived with your grandma?
Yep, this is after I moved back to Little Canada with Grandma.
This
I
would have
moved
been
here.
in what, 2007?
It was like the end of 2006. And this is where Solomon and Sadie were brought home. Shortly after Sadie was born, we moved out. But I loved it here. I loved this house. In the back is the kitchen window, and you can see White Bear Lake from it. It's just a beautiful downtown area.
And is that the house where
Yep, and this is the house that my kids' grandpa bought after he moved out of this townhome that I just showed you, or duplex. He bought this place, and this used to be a duplex as well. So the upstairs is like a whole nother apartment, and that's where my ex with his sister used to live when the kids were little. But yeah, everything's within walking distance here. There's Cup and Cone, the fire station, the police station, it's all right there, so we felt safe enough to keep our doors unlocked. The public library, the beach, the lake, everything is just right here within walking distance. I do miss living down here. I loved it down here. So I moved from White Bear to Unit 36 here on the corner. My dad lived here at the time. It's a 2-bedroom. We had lots of fun squeezing all of us in there. It was me, Saul, Sadie, and my dad.
This is where you lived when I met you.
Yep, this is where I lived when we were together. My dad eventually moved out, so it was easier.
It became your place.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna start out at the house that I lived in when I was like 3 or 4. I was born in Rice Lake, Wisconsin, and then we moved to Barron, Wisconsin, and then we moved to like St. Paul on West 7th Street. But I don't know exactly where all those houses are. I'm sure if I researched it a little more, I probably could find them, but we're gonna start here. So this is Glenridge Street in St. Paul, and I'm almost positive that's the house. If it's not that one, it's gonna be either that one or that one, but something tells me it's this one. This is the 3rd one on the left when you turn on Glenridge Street. So I'll have to have my mom confirm this, but and I think it was the one on the right, but this is 2163 and 2165. And like I said, I was about 3 or 4 when I lived here. And even at that age, I have so many memories. I remember if you go up the street, up on the left, my grandma actually lived here too. And there was also this other house on the left where there's this woman named, we called her Grandma Marie or something, I think.
Funny.
And she was like, she lived over here somewhere. We'd always go up to her house and talk to her. She was a nice old lady. But yeah, this is Glenridge. And like I said, up here in one of these houses on the left is where my grandma and grandpa lived, my mom's parents. My mom would know what house, I don't. So that means that this would have been back in 85, 86, something like that. All right, now we've just kind of come up and around the block here. And we're heading to the next house that we moved to after Glenridge. But here's Battle Creek Elementary. This was where Robbie went to elementary school. I think Angel might have too. I only went here for like a week for like a preschool thing. We're gonna see my kindergarten school in a little bit here. But yeah, that was Robbie's kindergarten school. So now we're heading towards the next house we moved to after this, which is not far away. It's only like maybe 8 to 10 minutes. All right, still heading there, but I just wanted to show you something really fast. If you can see that Popeyes over there, that Popeyes used to be Rax, my favorite restaurant as a kid that we no longer have here. They still exist in like Indiana and stuff, in Illinois, which I've actually been to on a road trip. But yeah, that used to be Rax, my favorite restaurant as a kid. All right, there it is. It used to be called Sheridan. I don't know what it is now, but that's where I went to kindergarten. I would actually walk home every day because it wasn't that far from our house. And right up here, there's a gas station. I don't know what it is now, but it used to be a 7-Eleven. There's like an alley right here. I think we can go down this alley. We lived down here on the right. I remember walking home from school, there'd be there's this little dog, like he was like a boxer or something. He was so mean. I was so scared. Okay, so we are now on Minnehaha Street, and there is the house we moved into after Glenridge, which used to be a greenhouse, and now it's like white, but that's it. So this would have been 87. God, the year you were born is when we lived here. Like 87, because I went to kindergarten
It's funny
when I lived here. So
I was born at United, which is like, what, 10 minutes from here?
yeah. Okay, so after the house I just showed you on Minnehaha Street, we moved out to St. Paul Park, but I can't remember where that house is. But from there, we moved out here to Hudson, Wisconsin. And this would have been in 1988, I believe. Now, we're in the back right now. There's like a little alley, and I'm pretty sure that's the house straight ahead. But I'm gonna drive around to the front. It might look different over there, but. Okay, so we just drove around to the front, and that house right there was the one I believe I was showing you the back of. I'm wrong. I think it's this one here because I remember it had that porch up there. So yeah, I'm 99% positive that that's the house right there. And from what I remember, it was a duplex, but yep, that's got to be it. Like I said, 99% sure. Mom, you'll have to confirm this, but yep, there it is. Wow. Yeah, that's the house out here in Hudson, Wisconsin. And from here, we moved to the house where I have the most memories, Stillwater. We're going to take you there next, unless I want to see something else out here in Hudson. I'm going to try to go find my school if I can. Okay, so decided to swing by an old friends of mine from back in the day. I'm in this alley here, and I know it's one of these houses, and I'm pretty sure that's the one right straight ahead there. Pretty certain. I don't think it's that first one over there. Pretty sure that's the one, but yeah. Good friend of mine named Michael. So now you got to remember, we're talking like 35 years ago, and I'm sure since then it's changed. But this was Willow River Elementary, and I'm almost positive this is the school I went to when I lived out here. It looks vaguely familiar to me, so I'm pretty sure that's it. So that's pretty cool. Now we're getting into downtown Stillwater, which is where I spent a lot of time growing up. You can see the river right down there. And this little gas station here, I used to ride my bike down here all the time. It used to be called a Food and Fuel. But this is where my dad got a job DJing at a radio station, which is why we moved here. But downtown Stillwater is beautiful. There's all these like antique stores. But down here, we're going to be making a turn onto Elm Street. And we're going to go up the hill, and I'm going to show you a house that I have so many memories in. And yeah, this is where I moved after we lived in Hudson that you just saw. There used to be a prison here to the left, and then it turned into a bus station, and now it's like condos. But here we go, up this steep hill. I used to play up on that cliff up there. But oh yeah, we moved here in October 1989. That big house there on the right, that white house that was never there.
That's brand new. It's only like the last year or so.
But straight ahead, y'all, there's my house. It changed a lot. They painted it, they remodeled it. They had all those steps in the middle. I mean, that used to be the front yard with grass and everything. We used to go sledding down that hill. But it's a really cool looking house now. They've changed it a lot. I moved here when I was like 7, and then we moved away when I was about 13, 14, something like that. But yeah, so many memories in this house. Just with my dad, and so many fun Christmases.
You said you could see like all the fireworks.
Yeah, there's a big bay window right there in the living room that you could oversee the river where they shot out the fireworks. Over here, there was never a house here. It was just all open. We used to play baseball in this little field here. Now they got this giant house here that
it
they
is
built.
a stunning house.
But yeah, I would go all the way up this giant hill to the bus stop every day. Yeah, there's houses up there. This house, an old woman used to live here that we used to go visit her, and they remodeled that house. But yeah, our bus stop was all the way up this hill, down a couple blocks, and we had to do this in 20 below zero. All right. Yeah. This whole neighborhood was just, God, just brings back so many memories.
We'll have a house.
Now I'm going to take you to my elementary school. All right, so here is Stonebridge Elementary School. This was where I went from like 2nd grade to 6th grade, or maybe 1st grade to 6th. I don't remember. But yeah, this was a really cool school. It had like colonies. Like colony 1 was like kindergarten. Colony 2 was like first and second, so on and so forth. But yeah, a lot of memories at this school. I would love to come here one day and see how many teachers actually still work here from back in my day. We're talking over 30 years ago.
Might not have.
There might be. There was a teacher named Miss Visner that me and my buddies had a big crush on. She was like in her mid-20s, so she could still be here potentially. But yeah, this is Stonebridge Elementary. This house right here, this dark brown house, this is where my good friend Donnie lived, who I met at Stonebridge. A lot of memories there. All right, so you just saw my elementary school, and now here is my middle school that I went to for 7th grade. Back in the day, middle school was 7th and 8th. And I didn't go here that long. I was here for maybe a couple months, and then I actually transferred to a different school. Let's go look for that right now. But yeah, here's the Stillwater Middle School. So then from the junior high school you just saw, I came over here. And this is New Heights, which way back in the day used to be called Washington School. But yeah, this is New Heights. This is where me and my brother went, and we first met our good friend Mike. And this is the school that they filmed The Cure, the opening scene of The Cure, where me and my friend Donnie and Robbie, we all were an extra in the movie walking around. And down the sidewalk here, right at the end, is where I rode my bike right past the camera. You can see that right there. Just right at the end of the sidewalk, crosswalk. But yeah, this is New Heights. And this is where I was going until we moved back to Wisconsin. Yeah, this is awesome. Okay, so before I take you out to my next house, I figured we'd swing by St. Croix Beach, Minnesota, to my buddy Donnie's house. So the house I showed you in Stillwater, he lived there for a few months after I met him, and then him and his parents moved out here to this house, and boy, does this bring back memories. I basically lived here like half my life when I knew Donnie, but boy, does this house look different. This is crazy. And there's their backyard. We had so much fun and so many different things back there. Wow, this is cool. So I'm not gonna get off the freeway here to show you this, but we're on our way out to River Falls, and we're passing the Hudson McDonald's. That was the first job I ever had, was right there. When I was like 14 or something, I worked at that McDonald's. So just thought I'd show you that really quick, my very first job. All right, everybody, we made it out to River Falls, Wisconsin. This is where we moved from Stillwater. I think like April of '95 we came out here. But there's the house. As you see, it was a duplex. We lived in obviously the taller one on the right. But yeah, we lived here for about 2 years. And definitely a lot of memories out here too. This is where we did our huge Halloween display. I mean, that whole yard was perfect for it. We had a cage, a casket, all sorts of stuff. And we had cops directing traffic out here on Halloween night, because there's literally hundreds and hundreds of people that came. Smoke, lights, music. It was so cool. But
That is such an interesting shaped house.
I know.
It really looks like somebody cut one half a house and then stuck another half to it.
That's our house. I haven't been here in a long time. So cool to relive these memories. I'm gonna give you a closer shot here. God, look how narrow those steps are. Crazy. Our garage is on the right. We got a basement and everything.
So the other half must be really small then.
Yeah, like there's just like a one level above the garages. Right here on the right. Which is like the only friend I had out here. I think it's this blue house here.
In the middle?
Yeah, the blue house. My friend Jason. Alright, so here's a school I went to out here in River Falls.
Must not be a middle school because they have a playground.
It was called Meyer Middle School then, but I'm going to drive around and see
It must have changed.
if it's still called that. It could have changed, I don't know. We'll find out. But yeah, this was pretty much the last school I went to. River Falls Public Montessori Elementary. Yeah. So it's an elementary school now. They've changed it a little bit. But wow. It's so cool to see this stuff. Okay, so now we're just kind of cruising through downtown River Falls. I used to come down here all the time on my bike and just cruise around. I want to see if this theater is still here. And yes, it still is. This theater, man, right here on the right, currently showing Black Adam. I used to come down here all the time. $1 for a ticket, $1 for a large popcorn, $1 for a large pop. $3 I could come down here and see a movie. But it's a cool town.
There's a lot of stores I'd like to go into.
Yeah.
I keep seeing a lot of cute little places. It'd be fun to come out here and like eat somewhere like Luigi's Pizza.
Yeah, bring back memories. We should do that sometime. Okay, now we are over by the college. I just wanted to show this because it's a pretty big thing here in River Falls. But it's over there.
Well, that's all of it too.
Yeah.
All these buildings.
I'm whipping around here and then you can see it off to the left too.
Those are just like housing.
Isn't that the college that are part of it right there?
Yeah, those are just dorms, honey.
Oh. Yeah, Angel actually worked in the college. She worked at the McDonald's in the college. Get that really quick. You see it? Mariachi Loco. Did you get it?
Yeah.
That used to be Taco John's where Angel and Robbie worked at, but
Taco John's? Oh yeah, you said that.
yeah, it was Taco John's. So yeah, that's still Dairy Queen. That was Dairy Queen back when I lived here. Now we're just heading back into town. So yeah, it's not a huge town, but there's a lot of little restaurants and shops, kind of like Hudson. All right, we are now in Circle Pines, Minnesota, and we're coming down North Road to see the house that we lived in. And we moved here in 97. And like usual, we didn't live here that long, but you'll see the house here in a second. Well, it's gonna be hard to see behind all the trees and everything, which were not here when we lived here, but back behind all that is the house we lived in. And this is where we moved from River Falls, Wisconsin. And it used to be white. Somebody painted it blue, but
I like the blue.
it looks like a freaking junkyard now. I don't know how well you can see it, but hopefully nobody can see me.
I was about to say this could be really creepy to somebody.
Yeah, that's the house from Circle Pines, Minnesota. So this gas station here, Olson's, is just right down the street from the house you just saw.
It's like, what, 3 houses down?
Yeah, and I used to come here all the time, obviously, but they used to rent videos here, and I don't know if they still do, I doubt it. But this is where I used to get a lot of my movies from my little video store that I had in that house. The manager guy that worked at the video store used to like sell me new releases early before anybody else could get them, but yeah, we used to come here all the time. It's still called Olson's. Okay, now we're over here at McDonald's. This was where I worked when we lived here in Circle Pines. I just basically transferred over here from Hudson, but this is the McDonald's that I worked at. This is where I was working when Angel was pregnant with Dylan, and my dad came and picked me up when Angel was in the hospital getting ready to have Dylan. So, and this was just right down the street from where Jess and I worked, so cool. So here we go, pulling into Century Hills Townhomes in White Bear Lake, Minnesota. And boy, Jess and I have a lot of memories here. So this would have been August 1998 is when we all moved out here to Unit 24 right there. This is where I lived for probably the next 2.5 years or so. So that was the first unit I moved into. Of course, my aunt and uncle have always been the managers out here. Sadly, that's the unit that my dad died in. But yeah, everybody lived out here. Robbie and his family, Angel and her family. Like, it was crazy. At one point, everybody had their own place out here. So here's the town below the hill from Century Hills. Festival has been remodeled. Looks pretty cool. But I'm pulling in right here because Subway used to be here. But what's gone?
The beer stew.
Oh yeah, the beer soup is gone.
Donatelli's.
But there's a Subway right here. I don't know if it was Great Clips or Super Nails or what. But this is where I got a job when we moved to White Bear. I was there for a couple years. I was actually a store manager at 16. But then we come down here, and this is where the Subway moved to. And this is actually where Jess worked.
Is it gone?
It's still here.
There. So I remember having to be here at 6 o'clock in the morning after your shows.
So Subway was the first job I worked at when we moved to Century Hills and White Bear. But after that, I got hired at Big Lots, which was here, which you obviously can see is a Planet Fitness now, and a Cub, and that actually used to be Kmart. But I worked here from like 2000 to 2004, and from there is when I got hired at Wells. But yeah, this used to be a Big Lots, and I'm pretty sure Jess probably came in here while I worked here as a little kid. So I can't remember if it was the end of 2000 or the end of 2001, but I actually moved in with my girlfriend at the time and her parents and brother, and I lived there for like, I don't know, probably like 2 years or something like that. And we're coming down the road right now, Arrowhead Drive in Lionel Lakes, Minnesota. This was one of my first serious relationships.
Very serious.
Who I was engaged with. I'm about to show you the house really quick. I'm not going to stop because that's just weird. It's that red house right there that looks completely different from when I lived there. It was yellow when I lived there. So I don't even know if her parents still live there anymore. Probably not, but yeah. So that's the house. So while I was living with Aaron is when my dad died. And this is where his funeral was. Wolf Funeral Home right here. That was a horrible day.
Sorry.
Where my dad currently is. We come out here quite a bit. On special days, his birthday, the day he died, Father's Day, stuff like that. But this is where my dad is buried. He's been here almost 21 years. And that's where my dad is, right over there. So we just got out. We're gonna come look at his grave, see if Dodger can find it. Where's Grandpa Jim? Look for Snyderich. Come here.
Right here. Come look at this one.
What's that say right there?
Who's this? Yeah, that's Snyder. So James Craig Snyder.
There's Grandpa Jim.
Yeah.
So yeah, here we are at my dad's grave. Like I said, he's been here almost 21 years this January. Give Grandpa Jim a kiss.
Go like this. Dr. Watch. And put it down. Yeah, it's like you gave him a kiss.
Aww. So after I broke up with Erin and moved out of her parents' house, I did go stay at my parents' house for a couple weeks. Not very long until I got my very first own apartment. And that was out here in Shoreview, Minnesota, at Shoreview Hills. I lived in a couple different units. I don't know, like 2 or 3 different ones. Brittany had moved in with me right away. And then we had Dallas. Dallas was born here. And then we moved out to Apple Valley, Minnesota. I was gonna head out there, but it was kind of far out, and it's just another apartment complex. But then we ended up moving back here again into that unit straight ahead. That's the one we lived in when Brittany and I broke up. I was out here for quite a long time. Shoreview Hills Apartments. And then after Brittany and I broke up, I moved back to Century Hills. Let's go look at that unit. I moved back here to Century Hills, to this unit 66, and I live with my mom and stepdad, but then they moved to a different unit, the handicap unit, and this one became mine. So I lived here from 2008 all the way until 2016 when Jess and I moved into the house we're living in now. So I was here for 8 years I lived here. So yeah, this was the last house I lived in before where we live now. Jess and I have a lot of memories in this unit. She come up here quite a bit.
Yeah, you didn't come to my house often. It was always me coming to yours, which was fine. You had the nicer TV and
A lot of memories in there. A
red
lot of
leather.
first time memories in there. Right?
Yeah.
This is where everything started for Jess and I.
Yeah.
And
Changed a lot.
yeah, a lot. But yeah, and then from here, we moved to Coon Rapids, Minnesota, where we moved to in February of 2016, and have been ever since. It's very dark, so you can't tell, but yeah, there it is. So that was a fun little walk down memory lane, huh?
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen a lot more. We missed a few that we
There's a lot of places.
couldn't go see because we didn't know where they were exactly, but
We didn't go to a lot of my schools because my high school had split campuses, so that's two
yeah.
high schools and elementary schools and stuff.
But that was a fun day.
Yeah.
And that's that. And here we are in Coon Rapids for hopefully not much longer because this house gets smaller every day.
Yeah, but I have a feeling it's going to be not so small soon, and then we're going to miss the feeling like it's small.
Yeah. I have to admit, the day we move out of this house, as much as I don't like it, I'm going to miss it.
There's a part of me that wishes we could buy it and then upgrade everything.
All right. Well, that'll do it for this video. Bye-bye.
Bye.